Okay, I had a quick question posed on Facebook, so I wanted to do a quick video to show you exactly how to do this. A lot of people want to know how to share their photographs with someone outside of Lightroom without having to do all this horrendous exporting and sharing on Facebook and all of that stuff. And one of the ways that you can do that is Lightroom Mobile. If you have a Creative Cloud subscription, you have access to Lightroom Mobile, so you might as well make use of it. What I'm going to do now is show you, for instance, I have this small collection of 5 pictures. And let's say that I wanted to add another picture to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up to my catalog and I'm going to select all photographs, and I'm just going to pick something quickly here, probably not even something great. This one, for instance. And what I want to do is I want to actually add it to this catalog of 5 shots that I've got here. Let's do something different here because I don't know that that one's actually going to show up. Let's pick a folder here that I know I've got. Had a crash recently, so okay, so we'll do one of these rainbows, specifically this one. So I'm going to take this rainbow and I'm going to drop it into one of my collections, specifically this one right here. So I'm going to grab this one right here and I'm going to drag it and drop it on top of that collection. You'll notice it went from 5 to 6, and if I click on that collection, now I've got 6 of them. Now I want to actually share that collection on my Lightroom Mobile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on it, and you'll notice that one of the options here is to sync with Lightroom Mobile. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and when I do that, you'll notice it came up and said that it was syncing. And in fact, if I come up here and look, it tells me that it is syncing photos, and it tells me that it's got 5 left to sync. And I can also pause that if I need to, but right now it is syncing 5 photographs. So I'm just waiting for it to sync, and this may take a little while depending on what you're doing. So we're going to pretend that this was already synced because, again, it may take a little while. I'm going to go ahead and go to a browser, and I'm just going to do a new browser. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in lightroom.adobe.com, and of course it already recognizes that because I type it in all the time. And when it goes to Lightroom, it recognizes me because I'm already logged in. If you're not already logged into Lightroom Mobile, let me go ahead and log out so you can see this. It's going to ask you to log in. I'm going to go ahead and go back to Lightroom again. And it'll come up with this welcome screen, and it'll ask you to sign in. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in. It remembers me, so I'm going to go ahead and put in my password. And now what it's doing is it's bringing up all the collections that it actually recognizes. And look at there. There's the collection that I was actually working on. If I click on it, it's going to show me the pictures that I was looking at over in Lightroom. And in fact, it's given me a problem on that one. So let's go back over to Lightroom and see what the problem is. Not sure what the problem is. Let's remove that one from collection and let's try a different one. We'll go add one of Shelby. So I'm going to grab Shelby and go back over to that collection, and I'm going to drop Shelby into that collection, and it went back to 6 again. So now when I look at that, you'll notice that it's still syncing photos. Okay, so if I go back over here now and I refresh this, it should show me Shelby. There she is. And one of the nice things about this is if you happen to change something in Lightroom, so for instance if you went from a color to a black and white, or if you made different enhancement changes, then that would actually be reflected in the sync, so you wouldn't actually have to do anything. So for instance, if I decided I wanted Shelby in black and white instead of color, I could select that one, go into develop, and just turn her black and white. So I'm just going to come down here and click on black and white, and voila, Shelby's now black and white. So now, if I go back over here and I refresh this, and it may take a little while for it to actually sync back that she's now black and white because let's see. Let's go ahead and make sure that it is still syncing, and you'll notice it actually says up here it's syncing one photo. So it's now trying to sync that black and white photo. So it'll take just a few minutes. And there she is in black and white. So it's a fairly quick process. You'll notice I've got two shots here that look exactly alike. If I go back over into Lightroom, I actually have two of them here. So if I wanted to remove one of them, I could just simply right click on it and remove it from the collection. And then when I go back over to my collection here and I refresh, then it's going to show, and actually again it may take a few seconds for it to actually redo the sync. But if you delete something from a collection in Lightroom, it's going to update that sync into the collection online. Okay, so there's the 5 photos that I want to share. So you'll notice there's a share icon right here. If I click on that share icon, you'll notice right now it is private and visible only to me. If I want to share it, I click the shared link here, and what it's going to do is it's going to produce a link. It'll also let me share it on Facebook or Twitter or Google+. And I also have some options. So if it was a collection and I wanted whoever I was sharing it with to be able to download those photographs, I could actually turn on the allow downloads. I don't usually do that, but you could do that if you were actually dealing with someone who needed the downloads. Now to share this, all I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on it and copy the link address, and then I can email that. I can copy it into a Facebook post or wherever I want to go with it. Once I click done, it'll actually denote that it's being shared, and you'll notice a little globe on it over here. That also indicates that it's being shared. If you decide at some point that you don't want to share it anymore, you simply come back up here to the shared icon and say private visible only to me, click done, and then it's not shared anymore. So that's the way that you share your photographs using Lightroom Mobile. Hope this helps.